He may think it's a witch hunt. Unfortunately, it is a jury, and their decision stands, and he is now, even though it's a civil case, is basically indicated that he's a guilty man.
Well, I mean, it certainly appears that the Democrat Party has put in all stops trying to make sure that he is the Republican nominee. Because, well, this is, on face value, a loss for Donald Trump, and he is his own worst enemy in many ways. This is galvanizing the base and the support of all the people who he is told, look, they're going to come after me. I'm witch hunt, all these things. Don't know this person. Look at all these cases they're bringing. They can't get me in a criminal court. And so now you have a situation where the Democrat Party is using all of these lawsuits. Each lawsuit is dragging Trump through the mud for the moderate voter, and it's galvanizing the base to support him, which means he's more likely to become the nominee, and the Democrat Party doesn't feel like they can beat Ron DeSantis. So
can I just interrupt? Why do you assume that a jury in a civil case are all Democrat voters?
In Manhattan, it's 88% Democrat voters. Probably they would vote to hang him in the street if they could. And in a civil case, you don't need to prove beyond reasonable doubt as well. The judge was instructed the jury that because Donald Trump just sent in a video deposition, he didn't attend. In a civil case in America, you're allowed to use that against the defendant, and he's going to appeal. Now, if I would say the same thing, if Joe Biden got taken to some Mecklenburg County courthouse in rural Virginia and was tried in civil case for some nonsense or whatever, they could find the exact same thing, because we do have this breakdown in the American court justice system, and this kangaroo court, banana republic behavior is scary.
Yeah, well, you can call it kangaroo court, but due legal process has taken place. And one reflects that in terms of the way he approached the case, when he says that this lady was not his type, he then mistakenly identifies a photo of her as his former wife. Not too clever, was it?
No, once again, he is his own worst enemy and his own biggest promoter. It's this weird dichotomy, his own Hegelian master-slave dialectic. He seems to defeat himself and prop himself up at the same time. But in the end, none of that deposition helped him, especially when he told the woman who was interviewing him that he didn't fancy her either. I mean, what are you doing, man?
Let's take this forward then about the political consequence of this. I know that one Republican senator, John Cornyn in Texas, says you can win, obviously with your power base in terms of a party nomination. You can't win a general election with just your power base. So, has he now damaged himself in terms of actually taking Biden on for a successful run for the White House?
I think yes, but he has damaged himself every single month that he was president and every single month that he ran for president. And it seems like, there's a reason why they call him the Teflon Don to some degree. But your point is incredibly valid, because the middle America voter was actually the female vote is what got him out in 2020. Yes. Now you have a situation where the country has really started to have societal and economic collapse. And now people are looking back like, hey, you know what? I have friends who tell me, I went from like a lower class to middle class, and I can tell that I'm back down. Like, there was economic growth and people felt it, and now they're feeling the pressure. And Donald Trump's 4 years were the greatest economic period in our time. So that might be what saves it.
You've touched on something very important, and I think they're looking at I think they're the so-called soccer mums, the suburban female floating voters that will be essential for getting him into the White House. Now, surely this and perhaps other legal cases to come are going to turn them off voting for Republican Donald Trump. Is Ron DeSantis just going to hold on and wait and see which way the wind blows before coming out and saying this is not the right man for the presidency?
Absolutely, and that's what Governor DeSantis has been doing. I'm a Florida resident; he's my governor, and I do support him in great measure. But I think that he's going to have to fight Donald Trump for that nominee. Donald Trump's not going to give it to him. Donald Trump came in and destroyed basically the old Republican Party. He used to be a registered Democrat, and if you want to take this away from him, you have to be a better candidate to the base. You can't run as in a primary, as a general election and be like, I'm the most generally electable candidate. So that's where DeSantis needs to choose, because if he makes a mistake here and they lose with DeSantis, because they're going to run the same campaign against DeSantis they would run against Trump, then it's going to be like, well, you just, sidelined the only sitting president to ever run again. If they let Trump run and lose, at least they can say it's all on Trump.